Is that working? Okay, test. We're here with Mark Reinbott, second place in the pros. How you going, Mark?
Yeah, mate, really good, thanks. Yeah, had a great day.
We're here with Mark Reinbott, second place in the pros. How you going, Mark?
Yeah, mate, really good, had a great day.
You've been fishing pretty consistently. You've done a couple of our tournaments and always around the top 10-ish. You like this dam, don't you?
Yeah, mate, I live only an hour and a bit from the dam, so I get here as much as I can. It's a great place to bring my little girl. She can fish up a storm, so yeah, it's a good dam. You get to know it a bit. Took a long time. I've come here a lot of times and gone home with no fish or 2 rats from a day, you know.
Yep. So let's talk about how you caught them. I heard you were long lining. It's a very interesting technique. I like innovation. It's one thing we try and support at Bass Nation is innovation and always thinking outside the square a little bit. And we heard you long line. How'd you do it?
Yeah, mate. These fish that are they're not really sitting on the bottom, they're suspended. And suspended fish in Somerset are notoriously hard to get to activate. And what we can see is that the people who are trolling around, like the ma and pa out for a troll, catch a fish, are catching fish, and we're not catching fish. So there's some reason, and I've, reading a bit of bass fishing stuff, realised that there's a technique called long lining. So what we do is, because we're only allowed to cast and retrieve, okay, you're not allowed to put any action into the lure with your boat. We cast the lures out at an angle, about 45 degrees to the back of the boat, big belly in the line. The water grabs the line, but that super fine braid comes off your real fine, real easy, so that, because you're not allowed to impart any action into your lure while your boat's moving in gear. Then I've got reels with a couple of 100 yards of line on, specifically designed for it. I had to give my non-boaters a rod and reel to use because they just didn't have any, 75 yards of line. Mate, it's not going to work. Use this, do this. They all finished in the top 10. But, yeah, we get out 200 yards away. I turn the motor off. I press a spot lock on the electric. As soon as the electric turns around and the boat starts going backwards, we put our reels in gear and start to wind. We retrieve quite quickly because trollers are obviously doing about 2 knots. And that's what we want to do. We want to get down those fish and get that reaction bite, burning it past them down deep, and yeah.
Okay, so what sort of lure are you using?
Jackal muscle deep 2.5 most of the time at the moment, just because the depth they're at. It actually doesn't dive to 2.5, it dives to 25 to 27 feet on a long line. But if you cast it, it only does really 12 to 15. So yeah, in AU colour is the gun. In pre-fish, purple was the colour. It was a cloudy day, overcast, couldn't get them on AU, put purple on every time.
Okay. Are they silent, these lures, or are they making a bit of noise? Do you put a bit of smell or anything on them? No,
don't put any smell on them, but they have got a rattle. Whether or not the rattle makes any difference, I don't know. I don't think they're too loud. They've got a bit of a rattle. Sometimes we use different lures that are silent if the bite's a bit tough. When we pre-fished, it didn't seem to matter what we did. As long as you got the lure in the depth that the fish were holding at, you were right.
Okay, so you're using specialised gear. You've mentioned that. Your co-anglers didn't have that sort of stuff. If you could tell us exactly what sort of reel, line and rod you're using to help the people at home buy these sort of setups.
Yep, so what I use Shimano 2,500 with my lightest line. The lightest line I use is SAS 6 pound. Okay, it's the lightest line, the thinnest braid that I'm aware of on the market. It's basically 0.25 of a PE, so we can run that out. It'll hold 300 yards on a 2,500 reel. We can run it out, and there's just very, very little resistance to that line, so we can get extra deep with it. It means you lose a few fish, but doesn't matter. Then I go up to 8 pound SAS braid. Again, it's about equivalent to 1 to 2 pound fire line. It's really fine, but really strong. Breaks at 10 pound with an 8 pound leader on it. On a 4,000 holds nearly 400 metres of it. I got one reel with 450 metres of SAS 8 pound on it, and I can just log light all day with it. Then another 4,000 with 12 pound SAS braid. Again, it's about the same diameter as between about 3 pound fire line. Yeah, the difference between those two lines, the 3 different lines, gives you about 6 feet variability with the same lure, so you can really pinpoint the fish on the thermocline that they're sitting on.
So just by using the line, you change the depth. That's fantastic. That's great information. And for people at home to use that, that's really good inside information. You got anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I would like to thank SAS Braid. Dan makes what I think is the best braid available, and for this technique-specific stuff, it's dynamite, beautiful soft braid, really fine, and it's designed in Australia, manufactured in New Zealand, so we are helping the local blokes. And I'd really like to thank Yamiga Rods, because they make the lightest, most sensitive rods that I've ever used.
Okay, so you qualified directly into the championship in September here. You're going to come, and are you excited about possibly winning the trip to the States?
Oh, so it's here. I didn't know it was here.
September next year, it's here, September the 14th.
You might need to catch 12 kilos to win that one too, mate. That time of the year, I love it here. Plastic bite that time of the year. Get out there, and there won't be much log lighting going on there, but yeah, the plastic bite will be in full swing, and I love that bite here too. If
you made it, and you made it to the States, would it be an achievement?
Yeah, oh, look, no doubt about it. It'd be an achievement to go over there and fish that type of stuff. I suppose it's not one of the main aims of the game. I just love to fish, and I want to learn how to catch these bass. Going to the States would be great. Have a great time, meet some great people, have a really good experience. It's not it'll be good, but it's not a real high priority. I probably have to stay home and work.
Okay, Mark, congratulations. Really appreciate you coming along, and we'll see you on the next round.
Thanks, mate. Thank you very much.